This conference will now be recorded.
Hi all, welcome to the next session on SAP ABAP. In the last class, we have discussed about some of the overview of the FICO, what exactly the FICO module. And in the FICO, it is a finance and accounting, and which is used to manage and control the money of the company, which is used to do an accounting, and also we are going to do the controlling and in the legal point of view. So we need to account whatever the revenue which is coming up and the expenses which is going out of the company. So we have two modules, account payables and account receivables. And yesterday we have seen what are the database tables which are used, and so here you can see, so in the FI, the main the business document, which is an accounting document, so which is used to track all your expenses and revenues. And so we have the transaction FD01 to create an accounting document or to post the accounting document. The FD02 is to change, FD03 is to display, and BKPF is the table, and BSEG is the item table. And also, so whenever you receive the whenever you create a customer invoice to the customer, a open item will be created. So the open items will be stored in the for the customers. The BSID and BSAD is the cleared items. And so if it is an account payables, suppose you are going to pay the amount to the invoice, so we are going to do 0 in the purchasing, and the tables are MKPF and MSEG. And suppose there are some amount which needs to be paid to the vendor, that's we call it a vendor open item. So that will be stored in the BSIK and BSAK. After you pay the amount to the vendor, the document will be cleared. The clearing documents will be stored in the BSAK table base. And also we have general ledgers in the FICO. So the general ledgers we are going to create by using FS00. The transaction, the database tables are SKA1 and SKB1. SKA1 will have GL masters, SKB1 will have an GL masters for the company code. Suppose if you want to have a report, there is a standard report to display all open items and cleared items. The transaction code is FBL5N, and if it is an FICA, it's an FBL9. And suppose if you want to, there is an open document. So whenever you receive an payment from the customer, then we are going to clear it. So if you want to clear that, we are going to use the transaction code F-32. So where the clearing document will be stored for the customer? BSAD. And clearing document vendor, we can do the clearing document by using transaction F-44. So the values will be stored, the clearing documents will be stored for the vendors is BSAK. IK, it's open. Okay, BSID, open item for the customers. D means customer. See, XD01, the D comes in the XD. Even here also BSID. Okay, that is the way the SAP has designed. That vendor master XK01, the transaction code. Here you can see the table BSIK for the open item, AK for the cleared items. And also to display the vendor line items, open and cleared, the FBL1N. To display the GL account open and cleared items, we use the FBL3N. These are all the transactions which we are going to use in F5 days. So maybe, so the relationships you can see over here. In the tables, you can see the what are all the relationships which we have. Okay. So yesterday, last class, what we did is, I forgot. So SC10. Okay, we did we extended module pool with edit functionality, right? So today, so we are going to use these database tables, guys. and we are going to display the ALV reports by using SALV class. That's for the introduction today. So now we use all these database tables, and we are going to do an FI reporting, guys. Okay, so ALV OOABAP ALV reporting without screens. We don't use the screens. So whenever you introduce the screen, so it's a difficulty in writing the programs, and also the performance also, guys, it will give the low performance when you do the screens. Okay, so and also little complicated. You need to write something in PBO, you need to write something in PA, so little complicated whenever you use a screen. And without using screen also, we can do the ALV reporting. And so with the class we call it as the name. So screen, we use SALV class CL underscore SALV underscore table. This is the class which we are going to use it, guys. And also here we have a method called factory method. We call on a factory methods. The factory methods we are going to use to display the ALV without using in a screen, guys. Okay, so most of the people in holiday mode are started. Okay, so SALV reporting without any screens. So before going to use this, we are going to explore this class. What exactly this class? So if I want to display the class, what is the transaction code? SE24 and CL underscore SALV table. So this is the class which we are going to use it, guys, and display. And maybe I will see this properties and what all there we are going to look it up, guys. So see, guys, this class is a private class, right? And go to the there are some friends classes. See, and do you see there is no interface, but there are some friends classes: adapter class, SALV controller class, and controller table class. Okay, simple list, and go to the attributes. You see there are some of the attributes also over here. The attributes are defined with the C, guys. Again, they are defined with the another class. That means, so when you define here something with type ref to this class, what it becomes? It becomes an object base. See, so in programming we write data some geo underscore ALV type ref to class, so that becomes an object. Here also same way is, whenever you see an attribute which is with the type ref to this, that means this becomes an object base. So we have different kind of attributes which we have. So see, there is a name columns, suppose, so R underscore columns, see CL underscore SALV columns table. Okay, this is one of the class which we are going to use. So which is used to read all the columns from the output base. So the second class is, the first class is, this is the one, and which gives factory method, which gives object of the ALV report. This class is used to display and to get the object of the ALV base. We are going to write geo underscore ALV type ref to some CL underscore GA underscore ALV grid. So we are going to get an object. Here also it will give an ALV object for you guys. This class and the factory method. The second class is we use to get all columns from ALV report. Suppose if you want to read all the columns, we are going to use CL underscore SALV underscore columns table base. Suppose if you want to do something on the particular field, one single column you need to do. Suppose there is a column you need to do an edit option, and there is a column you need to set that column as you need to apply some color. Okay, that time we need to read the particular column, single column. On top of that, you need to write something. Then we are going to use to get the particular column. So there is only column also there, columns table, and go to the here, maybe single column also we can get it. Only see get the column. Okay, add column. So you can get the column, you can add the column. See, lot of things we can do it. Get cell type column and color column. Get color column. So you can set the color column also. So set color column. So there are some methods which we need to apply in this. So this is the one thing, and we use and one more object. The object is, so whenever you use a get column or where is the get column? Come back. Okay, methods. Sorry, you need to go to the method and set screen status. Okay, that's okay. We use only column. Also, there is a class base. Here it's in a columns, and without yes, it's in a column. We can read the particular column by using this class base. Maybe this is some of the important columns we use, and also the methods. The important methods which we have is, see in CL_SALV table I told. So the factory is the one method to get the ALV object, and to display your data on the report, we are going to use a display is a method. So we use display method to display the data in the output. Okay, and also we have, so one is the display. See guys, we have a get columns. So this is my get columns, and so we'll see display parameters also. Once display, see the parameters, there is no parameters guys, and you can see a factory. So in the I told factory, right? Go to the factory and parameters. See guys, so we have an option called a list display. Suppose you know, right, there are two types of reports. One is the list display, another one is the grid display. So if you want to have a list display, pass X of this parameter, it will display in a list. If you don't pass it, by default it is going to display in a grid guys. And also you can see, so there is a custom container. Suppose if you want to have a container, then we use this container option, but I don't want to use a container option because I don't want to use a screen space. And here you can see CL_SALV_table base. See, this is a type of this. That means, so you are going to get an object for the ALV base. With this component, you get an object. And also here you can see directly. Here in this case, there is no need to fill the field catalog even. That is one more advantage. And if you give the internal table, directly it is going to display the internal table with the values. Automatically it is going to fill the field catalog. So this is also one of the function. Here you will get an object, ALV object, and which is in a type ref to CL_SALV table, and the T_table is a type of table. So this is a dynamic internal table guys. So whatever the internal table you pass, that will display the data in the output. But you should call in a method. The method is in a display method guys. Display method you need to call it. After you create the object, you have to call in a display object guys. So today I am going to build one finance report, which is a display customer open items and cleared items based on the company code and customer and fiscal year, guys. So this is my input parameters, and display customer open and cleared items. My input is one is company code and customer. Not only one customer, I need to have a customer as a range and fiscal year. And which year? Fiscal year. These three fields should be in a input case. Maybe I am going to build the report for the finance. So SC38 and G and EDZ 9 and which is an F5. Okay. Customer it's not sales, customer payment history, I can say. It's a customer payment history details. So create demo for customer payment history details. And executable program, save. It is in line, save, and one request and transport for ALV reports. So maybe my reference purpose display my transport for ALV. We can change the description also, guys. Batch. Whenever you change the transport for ALV. So maybe always how most of the people having problem how to start the program is even I have seen. Okay, so here first my requirement is parameters, not parameters. Parameters only I need company code. C CCOD company code, and which is type of an where do you see the company code details is. So SC11 I have yesterday I have created company code 2001. So these are database table which I have given. See BUKRS and which is a company code. The data element is the BUKRS. Only company code master details. Yesterday I created company code and I have showed the data in T001. And this is my parameters. And also guys, I want fiscal year. Fiscal year also only the year input single input and P underscore F year and which is a type of the fiscal years will be yes we can see the fiscal year in BKPF and go to the BKPF and you can see GJA HR which is a fiscal year and go to the GJA HR and define this. And I want a select options because the customer I need to have in a range. So range I always maintain S underscore KU NR. And if it is in a range, are you going to divide like this? No. So what is the for is in it? This one and next one is you need to define a table case. Maybe I can define BKPF hyphen G. Oh sorry. KNA1 hyphen KUNNR. So customers will be always will be there in the master table is in a KNA1. Maintain the tables. Okay, KNA1. So this is the best practice. Why? Because whenever you define your tables, it will create a work area. Guys. Work area is in a data object. So I have defined a data object over here. And also you are going to get F4 functionality and by default whenever you declare with that directly with the database table. Do the syntax check and activate. and activate. Maybe I can put in a box to give the beautiness to the selection. Begin off block B1 with still text selection screen and now say pretty printer and pretty printer. First you need to activate it. Activate. After you activate this, you can maintain the text elements. So whenever you activate, then only you can maintain the text elements. So which is a company code, and next one is the here and customer. Okay, save. Guys, whenever I give the text, I always maintain the upper camel case keys. See, this is very good. It gives a good look, guys. So don't give all caps, don't give all small. So you need to follow the upper camel case whenever you write a text in the SAP case. So do this. So this is the best practice. Even whenever you maintain the messages, also you have to follow the upper camel case. Okay. So maybe you may think that okay, no problem, I will do here itself, but in real time I will maintain that. But you will not get it, guys. Always, whenever whatever you habituate, that you are going to do automatically. So if I do see, whenever I maintain text, always I maintain upper camel case. So I habituated like that. Even you have to follow the same thing. So whenever you build in a program, automatically you will write it. Okay. So company code. See, my company code is here. Input single input. Fiscal year is single input, and customer number is in a range. And also, guys, I need to tell. So if I would like to, I need to give an in this report. So you must enter company code. You must enter fiscal year base. So these two are very, very important. So if you want to do mandatory of these two fields, what you need to do? Huh? What is the syntax which I need to use if I want to do any mandatory fields? Huh? What you need to do? Obligator default, which will give a default value, and this is the syntax which you need to do. Obligatory. I think I forgot to explain this concept in the selection screen. Okay, I remember I didn't explain this in the selection screen design. But in the module pool, I explained this case. So in module pool, what you need to do if you want to enable field as a mandatory in the module pool? No, is it? Are you module pool? Double click the field and in little pop up there input possible required field. Whenever you select field as a required fields, you must enter the input value base. So I have explained, I remember the first class of the module pool program itself. I have shown there is a drop down, you will see input possible, input not possible, and required. So if you enable field as a required, then the field will become a mandatory. I have explained that concept. So, no, we don't write the code. There it's a required. In the selection screen, it is an obligatory. So there we don't write the code. In the module pool, we will select option as a required. But in the selection screen, you need to write an obligatory. That's what the difference. Okay. Module pool, how you do this, and selection screen, how you do this. That's what I am differentiating. Okay. So there we don't write obligatory, guys. In the module pool, we don't write any module. We don't write any obligatory function. So maybe SE10, I will go to the first module pool program display. I think module pool programs for the batch 9. Go to the module pool, and we did a program for the module pool. First program, what is the employee? I think we did an employee as a first module pool program. I remember. Go to the employee and go to the employee report in, and go with the this and go with the screen and 99, I think 100, and go to the sorry, go to the layout and Anna, చూడు నాకు ఫుల్ క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాయన్న వస్తా ఏదో టైం వస్తే రాండి మరి తెలుసు కదా మీకు అడ్రస్ అంతే అంతే దాని వెనక బ్యాక్ సైడ్ రైట్ ఓకే ఇప్పుడు క్లాస్లో ఉన్నా రైట్ see guys, so suppose I would like to maintain personal number as a mandatory field. Okay, I go to the here program. See, you can see there is input not possible means it's in a it's not possible. See here it is in a required field. If you select required field, it becomes in a mandatory field. Automatically, no need to write the code guys. SAP will take care of that. But in case of in a selection screen, so if you want to enable that field as in a mandatory field, you need to write in a code obligatory. So obligatory means it becomes in a mandatory field. Now execute. See guys, tick mark means always it's in a even in the web applications also you see whenever you feel you want to fill something, the date of birth is mandatory, right? Without entering that, and also the country selection is also in a mandatory. You will see in a tick mark. So that's in a mandatory. See execute. See it is giving me the error. So fill in all required fields. That means it's in a required fields. So you must enter the input, otherwise the system doesn't allow you to go to the next output screen. That's a mandatory option. So if you want to enable a field as a mandatory for the selection screen, we use an obligatory field. We use an obligatory things and pretty printer. Now I'm good guys. And I am good, but what I did is, suppose let's take an example of, so this is the little revision to the people, you guys. So let's take an example of, I entered company code junk. Okay, I entered something, fiscal year is bad. I put some values in the input. Let's take an example of, you are entering something Gmail ID and you did in a password which is in a wrong password, right? So whenever you execute it, what should happen actually? You should get an error message. So how can you validate the selection screen fields? How many ways you can validate the selection screen fields? How many, whenever you design a report, almost always you need to put this kind of things, guys. So don't think that so there is no requirement in the validation. Maybe in the functional spec they didn't mention, or else whenever they told I want this input, I want this output, but they don't mention all these things actually. But as a developer, you should always do any validations on the report input screen list. So that is a mandatory actually. Whatever you enter the value, that value should be validated. How can you do this in the reporting, in the reports? How you do the validations? Or else I need some default value. Let's take an example of, I need some default value in the company code. I need in a default value of 1000. How can I get the default value on the selection screen? How can you do that? How can you do the default values? Initialization, guys. So why initialization we write the code? But because this is my selection screen, my initialization will be triggered before displaying the selection screen. That means if I write something in the initialization, so that value will be populated into the selection screen, guys. And p_ccod, ccod, and which is equal to 1000. So I passed in a value of 1000. So see, and you can execute this, and now you can see the 1000 is displayed, populated on top of the selection screen. Maybe it's not 1000. Maybe I'll change the 1000 value. I can change it, guys. Junk and execute. And also year bad and execute, and see guys, so enter a numeric value. So because why it is validating this field, the year is in a numeric value, you should enter in a date. Maybe I give them 9999. Is this year exist? No. So execute and see. So So there is no output first. And also, first of all, I need to validate this case. So how can you do the validations on a selection screen? I'm going back again this. So at selection screen on field P underscore C, guys, you forgot these events, very basics, these things. At selection screen on field P underscore CCOD, that means whenever you inputted some value on this field, when I execute it, the at selection screen on field that will be triggered. And select, maybe I would like to do a count base, whether the record is exist or not. Select count to start. This is the one kind of select statement, and I'm going to count the record. If single record exists with that value, that means there isn't a record in the database table. That's what my intention here. Select count star from. So what is the database table for the company code? Yesterday I did a configuration. Whenever I configure company code, the value will be stored in the T001 master table. This is a configuration tables. And from T001 and into, maybe I will declare some variable GB underscore count. So how many records which we have, and where, and this doesn't fetch the value base, it will fetch only the count, how many records which we have, and where bookers, and which is equal to the P underscore CCOT. And so when you say there is no record, how can you say whether there is no record? So perfect. If psi hyphen subars, which is not equal to 0, that means there is no record. And end if and raise an error message and message and no record found for the given company code, or which is a type of error record. So one more way. So here I am doing an add code, guys. Suppose I am developing this report in a global point of view. That means this report can be executed in the, yeah, you need to declare a GB count and declare the GB count data GB underscore count, which is a type of integer, and that's what the thing is. Now you are good in the data object. So that is very important, guys. Some people doesn't know how to declare these also, guys. Okay, so that's the thing. And now you can see that. So here I have hard-coded the thing, guys. So can you reuse this message? Suppose I did like to put same kind of message in another report. Can you reuse it? There also you need to write the text, right? So guys, automatically I am following upper camel case whenever I am doing it, guys. See, and if I would like to reuse this, how can I do this? Yeah, perfect. You need to maintain this in the message class SE91. Then you need to call the message class in your report, guys. So export, just I'm going to put the junk, and fiscal year is 999, and execute, and see no record found for the given company code. This is what the validations. Always you must apply the validation stage. Just to give a recap, I did this and I have it in an selection scheme output. Now I will go to the start of selection. I am going to build a processing logic. The processing logic. So what is this report actually? Which should give a customer payment history. Okay. So what is the payments which we have, and what is the customer clear and open items case? So maybe if you want to fetch customer cleared and open and cleared items, which table you need to use? BS ID and BS AD. BS ID and BS AD. These are two tables which I am going to use it. Okay. So select. Okay. I need to know the fields. Maybe I will declare the types for that. So maybe, so before data always is tables, types, and data input, and initialization, validations, then processing logic. This is the program flow which you need to remember. First, always, if you want to have select options, maintain the tables, and then define the types. Then define after the type is dependent. The data is dependent on the type. So define the types, then data objects, then selection screen. This is the program flow, guys. And also then Initialization, suppose if you want to default the value, then validations, then start of selection. Always you need to do this kind of sequence whenever you write in a report program. And maybe so I have given a shortcut to define the types. Guys, see, I will go to the BSID. This is the database table, and use company code and CONAR. And all these are important. Primary key is always important. Okay, so you have to take all the primary keys and BLDAT. So what is the posting date when this document is created, and document date in the document, and also what is the currency, what is the reference document number, what is the document type, and what is the fiscal period, and what is the posting key, that is also, and what is whether it is in a debit or whether it is in a credit, and what is the amount which is in a DMBTR, very very important in this table. So DMBTR is an amount, and also you have order number. See, GL account. What is the GL account? What is the general ledger account? And what is the financial account? And what is the terms of pay? How many times you can pay? And also, what is the cash discount in days? So I can give some discounts. I can give some uh, discounts in percentage. Okay, and this kind of things we can give it. And what is the payment method? How the customer can pay it, by using net banking or credit card or debit card. So that is a payment method. And so, and also a dunning log. Okay, this kind of things we are going to take it place. Okay, and what is the VAT, and what is the billing document number? So the what is the billing document which we have used to create this accounting document? And so this kind of things which we are going to use it, guys. Okay, I have taken a lot of things. Okay, so which is an TY underscore BSI, and okay, this is the fields which we have fetch places. Control C. So how you can do it? You can delete. You can delete. That is Rakesh Kandota. We have to do 80% hard work, then God will help you the next 20%. Okay, so don't depend 80% on the gods. From BSID, okay, BSID into A to GP underscore BSID, and where the company code, because which is equal to the P underscore company code, and GJAHR EJAHR. This is a GJAHR. This is P underscore G. Guys, the customer is available in the I didn't take in the customer number, but definitely you see the customer number. Go to here. BS Control F, KU, and then oh, it's there in the key field. So KU and push it. Yes, KU. Save and pretty printer. Do the syntax check and see, guys. I didn't declare an GT underscore BSID. You have to declare a GT underscore BS ID guys. So go to the here and GT underscore BS ID and the file table of TY underscore BS ID and GS underscore BS ID, which is a type of okay, TY BS ID. Control S. Yes, pretty printer then. So what you need to do? Perfect. So I am expecting this answer from you guys. Okay, I'm expecting. I intentionally did this. Okay, I know that, but unintentionally I did this. I did this. Who will catch? So that's it. If size of RC equal to 0 and whenever if it is in a parameter in select fundamentals, equal is an a operator. Whenever you define a select option in select, in is an a operator. That's the difference between parameters and select options. So the fundamentals. So I'm checking GT underscore PS ID and by BELNR. So BELNR by BELNR. This is my key field list. Save it and pretty enter and do the syntax check. And TY underscore BSID is unknown. Is it TY underscore BSID? Oh, I think I should define it. Okay, save. Pretty printer without syntax. No syntax. I will spawn this. The single table I have used. I will extend this later. Now I will go to the output part of this. So is use OOABAP to display the data. Okay. So directly, guys. So if you go to the class, see, this is my class, and I go to the method. I told you need to use a method of factoring. So this is my factory method, which is a public method. Okay, this method is a public method. Okay, and also which is a static. See, which is a static method. And public static methods can be called from anywhere. This, even though it's in a private class. See, the class is in a private class. So see, the class is in a private class, but this is in a public method. Method is in a public and which is in a static method. So I can directly call this. So static method. How can you call the static method? Okay, call method. If it is in a static, do you need to create an object to call? No. So my class is CL underscore is ALV underscore table. And static methods, how you can give equal and greater than. Very good. And factory control space enter. You see the importing and exporting parameters. And I have explained this. See, so if you want to have a grid display, don't pass anything. But if you want to have a list display, you need to pass an X. And here, the most important thing is the you need to enable an importing parameter and the importing parameter and T underscore table, which is an output guys. I have a data which is an BS ID. I fetch the data, I save the data in the BS ID internal table. And here is this gives an object of, see guys, go to this factory method and parameters, and this is a type of this type ref to this. That means this is an object, right? That means if I want to have an object, I need to declare a data object go underscore ALV and do the same and go here and declare an object and declare an object go underscore ALV type ref to same the class. See here I have this class, maintain this class. That's it. And save, pretty printer and activate. So now I have my ALV object. This method it creates a one object for you guys. No need to no need to write the create object. This class will create an object for you with the data of this internal table. And suppose if you want to catch the exceptions. How can you catch the exceptions case? We have to write try and catch and end try. So we need to use try and try to catch the exceptions case. Maybe I didn't explain the exception class exceptions in the object oriented. We have left with some concepts case, singleton and persistent class and exceptional class. So that also I need to cover it, remember. So maybe I put those points, and here now I have an objects Geo underscore ALV, and so now I am going to call method. If you want to display, which method you need to call? Geo underscore ALV. This is the object ALV object, and since it is an object, do you use this? No, you have to use hyphen and get that. And which method will use it to display the data in the, see, we use display method to display the data in the output. So D control space display control space, that's it. And see guys how it is, how simple it is. So SALV, Murali, so how simple it is. See, I can't just static method and get the object, calling the method display, that's it. See how simple it is. The report with the SALV, and fiscal year is 2014. I have a lot of data in the 2014. Maybe I will go to the table, we'll see the data guys. SE6, maybe I will exclude this. Okay, and also I'm not giving any customer as an input, execute directly. See guys, we have this much record. So this is my company code, and this is my document number. Where is the document number? See, this is my document number in this year, and this is the posting date. And see guys, the field catalog automatically builds from the internal table guys. Did you build any field catalog here? No, automatically it gets from the internal table. Whatever the internal table you use it, so that internal table it is coming guys. See, this is coming from this internal table guys. Okay, a little dose I am going to increase. So instead of here, I go to here. Maybe I will put on a checkbox here. Maybe I need to have a checkbox. Okay, which is an a type and which is an a CAD1. See what happens now. Execute and check and give the fiscal year 2014. Execute. Dump. Okay, why it's giving the dump? Can anybody tell? See, I'll go to the error analysis case whenever you get a dump. So the compiler returned a warning about the terminated OpenSQL command with the following text. The database field for the result type of the aggregate function AUGDT and the component UMSKZ of GTBSI ID are not compatible. So tell me why it is getting the dump. Just use your brain. So why it is getting the dump? So by seeing that message, definitely there is a problem with the select statement. Okay, so the problem is here, this one and this one. And before it doesn't give me an error. Now it is giving me an error. What is the reason? Why this corollary? Tell me. So why this is giving me the error? Why it is giving me the error? Analytical skills, problem solving skills. Tell me what I did, what action I did. After that, yes, perfect. I added a checkbox in the target. See, this is my target. When you select the data, I started from the second field, Bucharest. So what it will do, whenever you do an into table, this Bucharest will be mapped to the checkbox. See, and wait, I will take until this fields, Control C. So I will put in a side by side, Control V. So what it will do is this Bucharest mapped to checkbox, Punar mapped to Bucharest. See data, SKS mapped to the KUNNR, SKZ mapped to the SKSS. AUGD, this is a date field. Date field is mapped to the UMSKZ. So this is not a date field. This is a date field. So since you are mapping date with the some other format, it is giving me a dump guys. So to avoid this error, what I need to do? What I need to do? I do not have any checkbox. What I need to do? Explained many times, not one time. Perfect answer. You must use an into corresponding fields. That means Bucharest will be mapped to the Bucharest. Kunar will be mapped to the Kunar. So this is the thing which we need to do into corresponding fields. If this is the case, you need to use into corresponding fields of table. This is the scenario where I must use an into corresponding fields of. So now execute the report and execute the report. See, I'm recapping it, guys. Okay, see, so I got on a checkbox, guys. I got on a checkbox, but I didn't get in a description. Why? Why I am not getting in a description for the checkbox? Why I am not getting in a description for the how the descriptions comes? Maybe so in the types I declared with this table. So here I maintained a data element, but here I declared with the directly data type. That's why you are not getting in a field description. That's the importance of the data element, guys. See, so that's the importance of the data element. Maybe in this case, what I need to do then? In this case, what I need to do? In this case, what I need to do? In this case, that means I explicitly I need to add a description to this field is. How can you set the field descriptions in the ALV SALV table is? So maybe yeah, I'm checking the class. So I need to explore the class now. See, this is my class is. So in this class, so maybe go to the methods. So we'll see method. Is there any method which I can use it to set on a field descriptions? So maybe I will use screen status. Maybe this is used for the application toolbar, pop-up, top-up page, and screen status, screen pop-up, end of list, end of page, function based set function, close screen, get layout of the things, and then get display settings. Can I see somewhere where I can set the field catalog stuff? So factory, can I set the field catalog? No, it's not possible. SALV table and methods and refresh, sort, selection, get event. See, create new instance with new data structure. Maybe set data. So parameters table. No, it's in a data only. And display doesn't have anything. And methods, filters. I think I have only the option of get columns, guys. So maybe I have to use this method. Maybe I suspect I need to use this method, get columns. Maybe this may work out. Or else constructor will be used, and there is no thing for the constructor. And get columns and go to the parameters and value. See, get columns. If I use the method get columns and my value is in a returning value is in a this class. Maybe I will go to this class, and in this class I see the methods and in the get columns I can read in a get column, single column. See, and get column position, set column position, and see guys, special columns, reduce, put in a text here, remove column, a color column. We can do color, we can do this. How can you set the descriptions, header with headers, show and hide column headers. Okay, maybe I can use this method, guys. Set header visible, and maybe parameters value no. So this also I don't use it. And color column, you can do the colors of the columns. And how can I do this? And enabled column. So somewhere I can set the field catalog. So what I said, maybe get the column. See guys, maybe I will get the column first, and maybe this is my method. I go to the parameters of this and see. So you need to pass the column name. You are going to get in a column as in a class base. Even this is also an object, heavy dose. So everywhere, if you see, this means it's in a class. Type ref2 means it's in a class. And I will go to this class again, SALV underscore column. And here you can see, get the column name. I can use this method. First you get column name, then you can set methods you need to use, set alignment, set currency. It may be definitely I can see. See guys, set medium text. See, in the field catalog we have selection text long, selection text M, selection text S small. So exactly here you can see set medium text guys. You can put the column descriptions by using set medium text or set short text also available. See, yes, that is, this is medium, and also long also available. Set long text also possible. So maybe I need to use this method. What is the method which I need to use it? Set medium text. See, first I need to get the object of this. See, set the columns, SALV column, and come back. This is called from this. This is one more class, two classes, columns table and columns table, and come and SALV table, and the method which I need to use is the get columns guys. I have to use first get columns method. So before displaying the data, okay, this is having more object orientation. So first, don't display it guys. Before displaying it, you need to write the logic. Suppose if you write something after the display, after display, are you going to get the text? No. So this is the flow which you need to follow. Some people will confuse where I need to write the logic. So before displaying it, you need to write the logic. So that's why here I am going to write the logic, and I am going to call method GO underscore ALV hyphen greater than get columns, get underscore COLUMNS. Do this and you get a columns object first. And so here I will write, so some steps guys. My steps are, one is first step, and get the object of the ALV using class CL underscore SALV underscore table by using a method. The method is factory method. So this is my sentence, and do the comment. So it's in a dead code guys. So here just I'm putting in a comments, that's it. This code never executes. So yesterday somebody asked, so if I have a dead code, is it impacts the performance of the program? No, it doesn't impact the performance of the program. The dead codes will not be executed at all guys. Okay, so simple fundamental question that is. Okay, so now I'm going to declare a object for you, and my object I need to declare. And the second is, I'm reading the second step, get the object of all the columns from internal table. So this method will get all the columns case. So whatever the columns which we have in the internal table, it will give an object for all the columns. Maybe go to the get columns and go to the everything is an interfacing parameters case. So here you can see this is the class CLSALV columns table, and so for the internal table using class this. So you need to create an object for this class. So go and create an object. Okay, this I call it's a GO underscore columns, means all the columns, and type ref to this. Okay, yes, I did my object, and here my object, here I'm returning that object as a GO underscore columns. Yes, Now next, now I have an object of GO underscore columns. Now I go to that GO underscore columns. Go to the, where is that? Yeah. So GO underscore columns. Double click this method, and here you can see here. Actually, what I need to do is I need to get an a. I need to get an a. Which column you need to? Which column you need to text an a? You need to, sorry, you need to assign a text. So for this, you need to call in a method. The method is in a get column. So where is the get column? So this is the method get column base. So get the column and get the object of that column base. So get column object and read particular column. So here the method this and using CL underscore SALV underscore table and method get underscore COMMS and get a particular column from object of the this object of the class this and method is get single column get underscore column here. Only here it's in a columns. Here it is in a columns, but here it is in a column. Whatever the column which you need to read it, that you need to read it. So call method GO underscore columns and get column. See, this is my get column. And you are going to read in a column. See, column is checkbox. Always you must define a capital letter, guys. So CHKBOX. So checkbox is my field name. So don't give the lowercase. If you give the lowercase, it doesn't work. Checkbox. And receiving. So receiving. Even this is also in a object, guys. So go to this method and go to the parameters again, and you see this is the column object. So CL underscore SALV underscore column and take this class and take this class and or else okay, I can define with this class. Okay, next one is GO underscore COLUMN and which is the type of this. Okay, sorry, type this class. And where is the here GO underscore and it's in a column and that's it. I read an objective for the checkbox column. So I use the method call method. So in this class, again go to this class, and here we have a method call. What is the method? Set a medium text. Where is that? Where is that? Medium text. So see these parameters for this method. You need to set the value. Is simple. You can set a value, auto-put value. So which is in a data element, guys. This is the data element. See, this is the data element. So I can set a when anything which is defined with the data element, which becomes a single field, single input value. If it is in a structure, it becomes in a work area. If it is in a table type, it becomes an internal table. So since it is in a data element, it's in a single field, single value. So call method. What is the method? Get the medium. Not get, guys. We need to use set medium text. Sorry. So you need to set the value, not the get the value. You are going to set the description to the output, right? You need to set the medium text, not the we have a long text and we have a medium text. Set the medium text method which we need to use. So call method GO underscore COL MUN and method is set medium text. See, set edit mask. See the guys, all the field catalog which you need to use by using column method only, guys. So that's it. Do the control sets, and here I will pause it and I choose. This is my column text which I am going to define this. Okay, programmatically I have added a field catalog. Here it is a see guys, here we are using a lot of object orientation, real object orientation which we are using. In the CLGA ALV grid, just we pass the internal table and modified the internal table. There it is going to give it. But in this case, there is no field catalog option. So you have to use setter and getter methods. Case. We have two types of methods, setter and getter methods. Setter, if you want to set the value, if you want to set anything to the output, we are going to use set methods. If you want to read from the output, we are going to use a get methods. So I have used a set medium text method, and which will put an a choose as a see. For this, we did lot of coding this. See, to give some small data element. Without data element, I have used checkbox. For this, I need to write lot of logic. See how much logic which I need to do. Instead of this, I can create a data element in S11. I can assign it. But so to improve your coding skills, I'm explaining all these skills. Okay, that's it. Normally we don't do like this. Simply create a data element, assign that to the field, it will give the description. Okay, but it improves a lot of coding skills. That's why I'm explaining this kind of things. So now we'll do a lot of things, and maybe interesting is now I'm going to debug these things. See, so put on a breakpoint and execute. So long back I did a debugging. I forgot the debugging. Okay, so I am getting, is it old debugger? Is it a new debugger? Old debugger. Why the old debugger is coming up? See, whenever you go with the new debugging mode, it opens in a new session, guys. But in the SAP, the maximum sessions we can have in one client is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sessions I can open. Since I do not have a 7th session, it is going to open the old debugging, which will be in the same session. So close this, and close this, and close this, and close this, and switch to the old debugger to the new debugger. And see, okay, I am whenever I execute, it goes to the start of selection F5. So size above is 0, and it is successful. And the entries are stored in the internal table. I have 9 entries. I sorted the internal table, and first method is and create an object by using class CL underscore SALV underscore table by using the factory method, and do the F6 a object is created GO underscore ALV, and in this object I need to read the columns of all column object, not the columns, column object of this output, and I created an object GO underscore columns, and also I need to get the column only object for the checkbox. Everything is in an object case in the ALV by using SALV, and I get an GO underscore column. And after the GO underscore column, I need to set medium text and set the medium text, and now display the data, and you see the checkbox is the choose is enabled on your output guys. This is the object oriented SALV. See, so no screen, it's a plain ALV, but I do not have my standard ALV options over here. So that is the one thing. ALV means, what is the advantages of the ALV? I should get in a sort, I should get in a sort in ascending, I should get in a sort in descending, and it should upload an Excel. You can download this data to the Excel file and all. So I need to enable a standard toolbar for this, and back will work automatically since it is a standard functionality. So back works automatically. But if you use module pool program, if you use CL underscore GUALV grid, you have to write an explicitly logic for the back and always and execute. And I set an field catalog by using object orientation, and choose is my option keys. But I put an I choose, but this field should be like an this field should be like an I tell checkbox, and this field should be like an checkbox. How can you set the value here, guys? So it should be like an checkbox field. That means it's in a cell type, guys. Cell type. I can say this is one cell, this is second cell, this is third cell, this is fourth cell, like this. This is my cell type. So I will set what type of cell it is. Okay. So I will call on a method set cell type, and which is equal, which is in a type of the checkbox, which is in a type of radio button. So what kind of cell it is. So there is a method called, see guys, set cell type. Go to the class, you need to explore this class, guys. Set cell type. See, do you have cell type, set cell type, column set, currency column set, set to row for the multi-row display, sign tooltip visible, and no, cell type is not there. Somewhere I can see set cell type. Okay, maybe see, this is my class, which is inherited alignment and friends class. Maybe I will do here with control space. I will do it, guys, and call method. Sorry, control X. See, there is a period. Call method go underscore co individual column level. You need to use column object and set underscore cell. No. Set control space alignment currency column. Okay, header text leading zeros. Set cell type. I can use it. Set rounded column. Set row. Set sign. Set technical. Set tooltip. Set visible. Set zero. Not here. So where I can do this as a checkbox. So maybe zero underscore a or method. Guys, I think that is there in the one more class, guys. I have one more class, SE11 and sorry, SE24, and we have a column table, guys. I told one more class, column underscore table, and this is having this kind of things. See, in the methods, see get currency, get alignment, and get, I don't want get, I need to have a set alignment, set currency, optimized output length, and set quantity, set row. So set uh, see get cell type, get the cell type. This is a method. After you get the cell type parameters, okay, and if you have get the cell type, definitely you need to have a set cell type as well. All right, setter and getter methods. See set cell type, get cell type only there is. Okay, so take this, find, I will use instead of get, I use set. See guys, there is an option set cell type and set color. See, we can put the colors as well. Okay, maybe set cell type. This is the method, and this method is having value. What is the cell type value which we need to use it as, and defaulted value. So maybe I need to go to the cell type options. See guys, you have a checkbox. So you need to use one. If you pass one, it becomes a checkbox. If you pass two, it becomes a push button, and it becomes a radio button. It becomes a link. It becomes a hotspot, and it becomes a checkbox and hotspot. So I need to make this field as a checkbox. I need to pass the checkbox. If you want to pass the checkbox, you need to pass the value as one. Set cell type one. But how can I get this object, guys? That's the important. How I can get this object? How I can get this object? Go to the properties. Is it in a child class or parent class? I think it's in a child class of the columns table. So CL underscore SALV underscore column list. And so this is inherited from this class, guys. So maybe I need to assign this. So maybe I declare one object for this and go underscore column column 2 type to CL underscore SALV underscore only column underscore table. So this is the class which I have declared that object. And I am going to assign this. Okay, I am going to assign go underscore colon, which is equal to question mark and go underscore colons and not ms. So get columns and get column. No. I need to see, guys. This object I need to assign actually. Control C. So what I am doing here, guys, can anybody knows? This is one object, this is another object. I am assigning the another object into the another object. What kind of concept it is? Casting. I am doing a casting, guys. See, do the syntax check. Some error, I think. I need to put first question mark, I think. So I need to put first question mark. Then yes, the syntax check, no error space. So what kind of casting it is? If I put question mark, what kind of casting it is? Huh? So this is my parent, this is my child. Parent class object into the child class object. Parent top to down. Downcasting. Downcasting is okay. Upcast, downcast. Widening cast, narrow cast. Which is a narrow casting, which we are doing. I don't know. I think this should work. And now call method and go underscore colum2 and hyphen and do the set cell type. Okay, and do the control space. See, guys, control space saves me, guys. Otherwise, it's very difficult to call the class methods. You need to go to the pattern and you need to give the ABAP object pattern and you need to write the code base. Okay, every time I need to do that. But control space saves me, guys, in the programming. And here the set cell type, the value is 1 for the checkbox. And pretty printer and to the syntax check and activate. Okay, and my suspect is maybe this may give me the dump place. I put in a breakpoint over. If it doesn't give me the dump, then I will get an output. See, 200 for execute. A suspect, that is only the problem. And here I have a column. I'm going to assign this object into this object F6. No error. And I'm calling that method set cell type F6 and F6. You see there is a checkbox which is displayed on the output case. But whenever it is in a checkbox, it should be in a editable mode. How you can provide an edit on the checkbox case. Next concept. Okay, very much interesting guys today. I like this program and I am using a lot of classes, the object oriented ALV classes. And you can say, so I have used object orientation. By using these classes, I have displayed the output by using SALV. See guys, that is confusing. Which one? The screen and all. But here the plain, the object orientation, the coding which we are using, lot of concepts we are using. We are using object, we are using classes, we are using casting. Okay, a lot of things we are doing with this. and maybe how can I provide an edit option on this report. So maybe I go to the class and so set cell type. Uh, Set cell type. When did we call set cell type? Yeah, this is my set cell type. And so what are the attributes of set cell type? So now is it only the, how can I put this? So somewhere I put uh, set me in this, maybe in this I may have some edit options kind of method this, because I put in a description. This is a field cat related thing. So maybe so in this class, what is the Geo underscore column class? So in this class, maybe I may see set editable kind of stuff is. Don't do get, see edit mask. I think some editable option. We can use the set currency, set not edit mask. Edit mask is different. Set editable, optimized quantity, row technical tooltip 0, visible technical, visible round. How can I do an edit? Edit mask is in a conversion. Column, I think so. Everything is in a get. Set also there are something on the above set. So I think in this we do not have any edit guys. So how can I give the uh, so maybe I will go to another class. So columns table, in this see set fixed header text, set header leading spaces constructor, get column and set column. Do you see any set get and set alignment, set edit mask. Here also it is there. Medium text, low text, field catalog. Something I need to do is so technical. What is set technical? Set column as a technical column. Okay, and set cell type. I suspect here only parameters, value, and set the cell type and cell type. What are the values which we have? And see guys, text hotspot link checkbox button drop down, which is in a cell type. Hotspot. So come back. Set color is there, searchable, and get text column icon. Is this in a key? Is this in a symbol? Is set cell type? We use this only, right? Set cell type parameters. Just we used same only. So same thing which we have used, which is in a text. Methods, color, drop down, editable. How can I set icon? Set the text column. So how can I set editable? See. So what is that? Yeah, I need to go to the Google. Set editable field using CL underscore yes ALV. Okay. I don't know how to use ALV. ALV. So I think the editable option is not possible with this class case. So ALV effective editable column. Okay. So we got ALV object get the functions in this r underscore function set all about display get the display settings. Oh, here it goes. Get columns function list get functions. What is there? Set all is equal to above set striped pattern get the display settings or display set striped pattern. Okay guys, so not possible, the edit option is not possible without this class is only we use for the display purpose. So disadvantage fifth is we use SALV factory class for only display purpose and we cannot edit the fields using SALV class. SALV with this editing is not only we use this one only for the display purposes. So if you want to have a display, then only we are going for the SALV classes. So that's it. And so tomorrow maybe we are going to use the set PF status that we are going to extend tomorrow. And so tomorrow we see the output with the SE38 and execute and leave out the field catalog checkbox because we cannot do any edit. We cannot do edit options on this by using SALV. But the thing is, we use only for display purpose. But whenever you use display, you should give any standard options on the application toolbar. How you can set the toolbar that we'll see in the tomorrow. And tomorrow we are going to wrap in. Not tomorrow, Monday. We close the ALV with the object orientation. Then I am going to take you to the BDC programming. So how you can upload the data into SAP. That is also more interesting. So we do the BDC from Monday. So these are simple, and so the classes which we are using is these 4 classes which we are going to use. And maybe I can put in a colors on this report case. How can I put that colors? So how can I put that colors case? Maybe I use this data, and how can I set that colors? So maybe set colors also possible on this. Then do this and go to the method set color get column, and maybe I will get one more column guys. So which column I am going to get is, so get another column, Control C, and after you this get one more column. So my column is BGLNR. Okay, so this is my column. So in this column I am going to use call method 0 underscore column and set underscore column 2. Set currency not in this, huh? No, so not this. This which is in a column 2, right? Column. I need to checkbox column. So first I will get columns, geo columns. Okay, after that I did this. Where did I do this? Okay, again I need to do this. Control C. After you read it and again do the casting. Again del R field you need to do here and call method. Call method. Zero underscore. This is the second class. Column 2 hyphen set underscore color. Yes, so value and what is the color value? Set color and see colors and color column and column value. Fixed values. Color. How can you set the colors? Case? So color integer 4. So we have colors 0001 like that. Maybe I need to set. I will try it like that. I will pass 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Only we need to set the colors. Maybe I will set the color 3. 3 is in a green, yellow something. We are setting some color. Edit and this is an integer, right? Set color. So columns table. Control set color. Set color parameters. This is the parameter. Okay. Okay. I need to define the structure first. Okay. Define the structure first. Sorry. Directly I should not put it. So I need to define the structure. So first ls underscore gs underscore color. There is a structure, guys. If it is in a data element, directly I can assign the value, but it's in a structure. So now in the gs underscore color, I need to set the code. Here I need to do gs color, and before doing this, gs underscore color and hyphen color, which is equal to the color 3. Okay. So it's an integer. I can directly send the previous. We'll see. And execute 2014. See, guys, the column is highlighted with the yellow color. You can do that coloring by using set color method. So maybe change this to the green. What is the green? 6 or 5. Right. So there you are going to write format color off, color on, right? So here this is the application. See which comes under the. You can enable the colors by using set color method. That's it. This is enough on the object orientation. We deep dived this in the ALV report with object orientation. Almost we did 5 or 6 classes. So that's it for that day. And next class we are going to see the BDC batch data communication. How you can upload the mass data. So let's what we are doing normally. So suppose I have an employee application. So every day I am creating an employee. One by one I am creating. But suppose I would like to upload 1,000 employees. So the 1,000 employees are you going to create manually on the screen? No. I need a program. So which takes the data from the file and upload the data into your SAP list. Mass data, batch data. That's why we call it batch data communication. How you can do the batch data communication. BC with the BDC programming. So that's it for the day. Thank you all. Bye bye. See you on Monday.